What's up, everyone? Fight Zone MMA. Today we got some crazy MMA news. Let's get right into it. First off, we got Joe Rogan calling out the UFC White House card for being weird. On a recent podcast episode, Joe said, "It's weird that this is happening while we're at war." Fans are going crazy, thinking that Joe Rogan is calling out Donald Trump, calling out Dana White, and basically endorsing Bernie Sanders for the 2028 presidential election. Of course, none of these fans actually watched the video, where Joe elaborates and says that he's worried about the potential security concerns of having a large public event like this with so many high-profile figures in attendance. Of course, Joe Rogan doesn't care about any wars or anything going on outside the US. He's just worried that he won't be able to hit the DMT and get a blunt rotation going with the rest of the Epstein list if there are security concerns associated with the event. Shout out to Joe for keeping it real. Next up, we got Colby Covington complaining that the UFC is doing him dirty. In a recent interview, Colby said, "They just have me sitting around for the last 14 months doing nothing. They haven't offered me one freaking fight. I tried to go wrestle Arman Tsarukyan and they said no. How does that make sense? We're independent contractors. They're treating me unfairly. They've done me dirty my whole career." First of all, bro, your whole career was against the most washed up welterweights of all time. All fighters over 35 plus, unless you were getting one of 3 undeserved title shots. Colby Covington has had one of the most privileged careers out of anyone in the UFC relative to his actual resume and success in the division. That being said, as of right now, he might just be right. Colby hasn't had a fight or any fight news at all in over a year. And in this same interview, he claims that Dana isn't sending him any contracts for new fights. But Colby himself might be to blame for these developments. While Colby was still hot in the UFC on the up-and-coming streak, he needed to fight more frequently and attach fans to his fight style and his press conferences. After years and years of only fighting once a year and being inactive outside of press conferences, fans just don't care to see him fight anymore. Next step for Colby is likely going to have to be streaming with Sneeko and Aiden Ross. How embarrassing. Next up, we got Dana White saying he wasn't a fan of the recent BMF fight between Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. Dana says, "I used to look at specific matchups and think it's impossible for this to not be good. And then the BMF fight happened last week." Bro, this is your promotion. You put that fight on. You choose every single fight, and this has been your job for at least 20 years. Dana is talking here like he's a first-time watcher instead of the guy who made the decision to put this fight on and who's been making MMA fights for the past 2 decades. This is crazy. Dana is so checked out of the sport that he has no clue what's going on. He doesn't even know what matchups he booked last week, and he doesn't know what a matchup is going to look like. In this case, I do have to give him some credit though. He was thinking that Charles Oliveira's recent CTE developments would overwhelm his fight IQ and end up with him having a stand and bang fight against Max Holloway. But in general, Dana's really been losing the plot in terms of which fights he thinks are going to be good. Nobody wants to watch Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. I'm looking forward to the day Dana retires and Hunter Campbell is left homeless with no one left to do press conferences. Anyways, that's going to do it for today. Like, comment, subscribe, Fight Zone MMA. I'll see you in the next one.